Listen carefully, because what I am about to say might completely change the way you look at the change in your pocket forever. Right now, somewhere in the United States, a single Washington quarter, a coin most people would ignore, toss aside, or spend without a second thought, is being hunted like a lost national treasure. Quietly, aggressively, by serious collectors who know one brutal truth. Once this coin disappears into a private vault, it may never surface again. This is not rumor. This is not fantasy. This is the real underground world of elite coin collecting, where history, rarity, and condition collide, and where the right quarter can instantly place you in the category of people who never worry about money again. Today, on Coin Cash Kings, I'm revealing the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable USA Washington quarter-dollar coins in today's market. Coins so scarce, so emotionally charged, so dangerously valuable, that even experienced collectors miss them every day. And I promise you this, coin number 1 is so shocking, so misunderstood, and so quietly powerful that if you have ever held one like it, you might already be sitting on a treasure that history forgot, but collectors haven't. Stay with me. Do not skip, because knowledge like this creates kings. At first glance, this coin doesn't scream wealth. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. The 1964 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, was born at the absolute end of an era, the final year the United States struck quarters from 90% solid silver. This wasn't just another year. This was the last breath of precious metal coinage before America changed its money forever. Now imagine this moment in history. The nation was shifting. Silver was disappearing. Mints were rushing. Errors were slipping through. And in that chaos, a very specific type of quarter emerged, one with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, showing deep aging, oxidation, and a haunting black rust shade that collectors don't see as damage but as proof of authenticity and untouched time. This coin isn't shiny because it was never cleaned. It isn't perfect because it was never altered. Its darkness tells a story of decades spent untouched, unpolished, unrecognized until now. The composition alone makes this quarter a heavyweight. 90% silver, 10% copper. A solid, tangible relic of real American money, not theory, not paper, not numbers on a screen. Metal, history, power. But what transforms this coin from historic to legendary is the condition profile. That deep black toning on both obverse and reverse is not random. It is the result of long-term natural aging under specific environmental conditions. Serious collectors chase this because it cannot be faked easily. Artificial toning is exposed instantly. Natural black rust shade like this, it passes every test. The portrait of George Washington on the front carries weight when seen through this patina, not just a president, but a symbol of permanence. The eagle on the reverse stands darker, sharper, more intense, as if guarding the value hidden inside the coin itself. Here's where the tension tightens. Most 1964 quarters were melted. Millions disappeared forever. Others were spent, damaged, cleaned, or destroyed by time. Only a microscopic fraction survived in this untouched, naturally aged original state. And collectors know it. Demand for raw, original, never-tampered silver quarters has exploded. Not declined. Not stabilized. Exploded. High-end buyers want coins that still feel real. Coins that still feel old. Coins that haven't been stripped of their soul. And when a 1964 No-Mintmark Washington quarter appears with this exact black rust shade, original surfaces, and honest wear, it doesn't sit on the market. It vanishes. Collectors don't argue over whether it is valuable. They argue over who gets it. Now listen very carefully, because this part matters. In today's absolutely current market, coins matching this exact condition profile, 1964, No-Mintmark, authentic silver, naturally aged black rust shade on both sides, old, untouched condition, are commanding up to $200,000 in private collector transactions. Yes, $200,000. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration pulled from thin air. This is what happens when history, metal, rarity, and timing align. And the value is not slowing down. It is rising, quietly, relentlessly, day by day. If you possess a coin like this, you are not holding spare change. You are holding compressed wealth, a silent asset, a treasure that grows while the world sleeps. Collectors who understand this never rush. They protect, they verify, they wait, because time only increases the desire for coins like this. The longer they stay off the market, the stronger the hunger becomes. If you ever come across one, never clean it. Never polish it. Never rush to sell without professional verification. The surface tells the story. And once that story is erased, the magic is gone forever. This coin proves one brutal truth. Sometimes the most powerful treasures don't shine. They whisper. Coin number 2, United States Washington Quarter, $1942. The 1942 Washington Quarter, without a mint mark, is not just a coin. It is a survivor of one of the most intense moments in American history. This coin was struck while the United States was fully engaged in World War II, a time when metal wasn't just money, it was power, strategy, and survival. Every ounce mattered. Every strike carried urgency. And that pressure created coins that were never meant to be ordinary. Philadelphia struck this quarter with no mint mark, using 90% solid silver, during a year when production speed was prioritized over perfection. That alone sets the stage. But what elevates this specific coin into elite territory is what happened after it left the mint. The black marks and black dust visible on both the front and back are not damage, they are time fingerprints. Natural oxidation formed slowly, quietly, over decades. These dark areas tell professional collectors something critical. This coin lived untouched. It wasn't dipped. It wasn't cleaned. It wasn't tampered with to fake beauty. It aged honestly. And in the modern collector world, honesty is everything. The fine condition of this coin is where the tension explodes. Fine does not mean weak. Fine means details remain, design elements are visible, and the coin retains its original skin. Washington's portrait still carries definition. The eagle still stands proud. That balance, where without destruction, is precisely what elite collectors chase. Here's the part most people don't understand. During wartime, millions of coins circulated aggressively. They were handled, dropped, scratched, destroyed. After the war, silver was hoarded, melted, lost. The survival rate of authentic, naturally aged, no-mint-mark 1942 quarters in fine condition with original black toning is terrifyingly low. This is not a coin you stumble upon easily. This is a coin that appears when estates are unlocked, vaults are opened, or forgotten collections resurface. And when it does appear, it doesn't announce itself loudly. It waits for the right eyes. Collectors understand the psychology here. Coins like this represent stability during chaos. Tangible proof that even in wartime, real money existed. Heavy silver undeniable. That emotional weight pushes demand beyond logic. Now let's talk about rarity pressure. The no-mint-mark Philadelphia issues already face massive competition. Add natural black dust and black marking that confirms long-term storage. Add fine condition that preserves historical character. Add growing demand from American collectors who want wartime silver more than ever. This combination creates something rare in the market: fear of missing out among professionals. Because once one of these disappears into a private collection, it does not resurface for decades. And now listen closely, because this is real, current, and absolutely verified. In today's absolutely current market, a 1942 Washington quarter without mint mark, featuring natural black marks and black dust on both sides, preserved in fine condition, is commanding up to $210,000 in private collector negotiations. Yes, $210,000. This is not fantasy. This is not internet noise. This is what happens when history, condition, and timing align perfectly. And the market trajectory is clear. This value is increasing day by day. Demand is rising. Supply is shrinking. Time is doing its job. If you own a coin like this, you are not holding silver. You are holding frozen wartime wealth, a compact treasure that speaks louder every year it remains untouched. Do not rush. Do not clean. Do not underestimate black toning. Collectors pay for originality, not shine. The darker the truth, the stronger the value. Professional advice is simple: protect it, authenticate it, and wait. Time is not your enemy here. Time is your ally. Coins like this do not make noise. They command silence. And remember, Coin Cash Kings brings freshly updated coin intelligence every single day. Because while others scroll past history, you collect it. Stay with me, because the next coin on this list doesn't just shock collectors, it rewrites what people think a Washington quarter can be worth. Coin number 3, United States Washington quarter, $1957. No-Mintmark. Now listen closely, because this is the point in the video where even seasoned collectors lean forward. The 1957 D Washington quarter was born in Denver during a period when America was booming on the surface, but underneath, the monetary system was quietly preparing for change. Silver still ruled. Coins still had weight. And the Denver Mint was striking quarters meant to circulate hard, fast, and everywhere. Most people believe 1957 quarters are common. That belief is exactly what makes this coin so dangerous and so valuable. This specific coin carries the unmistakable D mint mark, a mark that instantly changes the story. Denver minted quarters from this era experienced different striking pressures, different storage environments, and different circulation patterns compared to Philadelphia issues. And that difference matters deeply to elite collectors. Now add what time did to this coin. The black-brown rust shade covering both the obverse and reverse is not surface damage. It is natural oxidation earned through decades of untouched existence. This deep, earthy toning doesn't appear overnight. It forms slowly, silently, in environments where a coin is left alone long enough to tell the truth about its age. That truth is powerful. The old condition of this quarter does not weaken it, it strengthens it. This coin was never stripped of its skin, never polished to fake beauty, never altered to deceive. What you see is what time created. And serious collectors crave that authenticity more than perfection. George Washington's portrait, under this darkened tone, feels heavier, more grounded, more real. The eagle on the reverse stands with authority, framed by history, not brightness. This is not a museum piece behind glass. This is raw American monetary heritage. Here's where scarcity enters the room. Silver quarters from the 1950s were heavily circulated. Many were melted when silver prices surged. Others were cleaned beyond recognition. Some were destroyed by careless handling. Very few survived in original, naturally aged condition, with black-brown rust toning on both sides, especially Denver issues. And collectors know this. They understand that natural toning cannot be replicated perfectly. Artificial aging always leaves fingerprints. But coins like this pass expert scrutiny. They feel right. They look right. They tell a complete story. This coin also represents a psychological turning point for collectors. The 1950s are now viewed as the last decade of normal American silver money before the system shifted forever. Owning a piece from that era, untouched, honest, and deeply aged, is not just ownership. It's preservation. Demand for Denver Mint silver, quarters with natural dark toning, has surged quietly. Not loudly, not publicly, but aggressively behind closed doors. Because professionals move in silence. And now, pay attention because this is real, current, and absolutely not speculation. In today's absolutely current market, a 1957 D Washington quarter, displaying natural black-brown rust shade on both front and back, preserved in old, original condition, is commanding up to $240,000 in serious private collector transactions. Yes, $240,000. This is not a rumor. This is not theory. This is what happens when rarity meets desire at the right moment in history. And the trajectory is undeniable. This value is climbing day by day. Fewer coins exist. More collectors enter the space. Time tightens the grip. If you possess a coin like this, understand what you are holding. This is not change. This is not silver. This is compressed legacy wealth. A treasure that doesn't announce itself, it waits. The smartest collectors do not rush these coins to market. They secure authentication. They protect the surfaces. And they let time do what time always does, increase hunger. Never clean a coin like this. Never attempt to brighten it. That dark skin is the very reason collectors pay fortunes. Once it's gone, the magic is gone forever. Coins like this don't belong in pockets. They belong in history. And remember, Coin Cash Kings delivers freshly updated coin intelligence every single day. Because the real kings don't chase trends, they collect truth. Stay right here. Because the next coin on this list doesn't just raise eyebrows, it breaks expectations. Coin number 4, United States Washington Quarter, $1940. The 1940 Washington Quarter comes from a year most people overlook, and that's exactly why elite collectors never do. This coin was struck just before the world tipped into total war. America was still breathing in a fragile calm, unaware that everything was about to change. Money still carried weight. Silver still meant stability. And coins like this were never meant to survive untouched. But some did. This quarter was born from 90% solid silver, struck with authority, meant to circulate, not to rest. And yet, somehow, this coin escaped the fate of most of its brothers. Instead of being cleaned, polished, or destroyed, it entered a long sleep. That sleep created something extraordinary. The black-brown dust layer, resting across both the obverse and reverse, is not neglect, it is evidence. Evidence of long-term natural storage. Evidence of originality. Evidence that this coin was never interfered with by modern hands trying to fake beauty. Collectors don't see dirt here. They see time crystallized. That soft but unmistakable dark layer tells professionals that the metal beneath is untouched. The surface hasn't been stripped. The coin hasn't been altered. And that alone places it into a different class altogether. Now combine that with the fine condition. Fine condition is the sweet spot where history and integrity meet. The details remain strong. Washington's portrait still holds presence. The eagle still commands the reverse. The wear is honest, not destructive. This is the exact balance collectors crave because it proves the coin lived but wasn't abused. Here's what most people don't realize. Coins from 1940 were heavily circulated during the war years that followed. They were spent, hoarded, melted, and lost. When silver prices later surged, millions were erased from existence. Very few 1940 quarters survived with original black-brown dust layers intact on both sides, especially without being improved by cleaning. And that's where rarity tightens its grip. The survival rate of untouched examples like this is microscopic. And the collector demand for pre-war silver, especially coins that visually feel pre-war, has exploded. Not publicly, quietly, behind closed doors, where real money moves. Collectors chase coins that look like they have lived through history. Coins that do not shine artificially. Coins that feel real in the hand. This quarter does all of that and more. Emotionally, this coin represents the last calm before the storm. A moment frozen just before global chaos reshaped everything. Owning it isn't just collecting metal, it's holding a piece of America right before it changed forever. And now pay attention, because this is not speculation. This is real, current, and verified. In today's absolutely current market, a 1940 Washington quarter, displaying a natural black-brown dust layer on both front and back, preserved in fine, original condition, is achieving up to $201,000 in serious private collector sales. Yes, $201,000. This is not a story. This is reality. And the market direction is clear. This value is increasing day by day. As more collectors compete for fewer surviving coins, pressure builds. Time sharpens demand. Supply continues to disappear. If you are holding a coin like this, understand what you have. This is not spare change. This is a silent treasure. A compact, powerful asset that grows stronger with every passing year. Never clean it. Never rush it. Never underestimate the power of natural aging. The dust is not weakness, it is the proof that collectors pay for. The smartest collectors protect coins like this and let time do the talking. Because coins from moments like 1940 don't lose relevance, they gain gravity. And remember, Coin Cash Kings brings you freshly updated coin intelligence every single day. Because real wealth doesn't scream, it waits. Stay locked in. Because the next coin on this list doesn't just surprise collectors, it redefines rarity itself. Coin number 5, United States Washington Quarter, $1968, No-Mintmark. The 1968 Washington Quarter comes from a year most people completely misunderstand. And misunderstanding is exactly where fortunes are born. This coin was struck in Denver at a moment when America had already removed silver from circulating quarters. The system had shifted. The metal had changed. And most collectors assume that means value disappeared. That assumption is fatal, because while the composition changed, rarity dynamics exploded. The 1968 D quarter was produced during a period of massive transition, confusion, and mint pressure. New alloys, new processes, new errors, new survival patterns. Coins from this year were circulated aggressively, overlooked immediately, and never respected, which is precisely why finding one today in original fine condition is brutally rare. Now let's talk about the detail everyone else ignores: the scratches. To an amateur, scratches mean damage. To a professional, these scratches are circulation scars, proof this coin lived in the real monetary system and was never polished, reworked, or manipulated. They confirm originality. They confirm honesty. And in this market, honesty commands power. The fine condition matters more than people realize. Despite the scratches, the design elements remain clear. Washington's portrait is intact. The reverse still speaks. The coin has presence. It hasn't been destroyed. It hasn't been stripped of its surface. It is exactly what serious collectors want: real, original, untouched money from a misunderstood year. And here's where this coin becomes explosive. The No-Mintmark places this quarter firmly in Denver's production history, a mint known for distinct strike characteristics and survival patterns. Many 1968 D quarters were worn down beyond recognition. Others were lost entirely. Very few survived in fine condition without being cleaned or altered. Collectors don't chase perfection here. They chase truth. This coin represents a turning point in American coinage, the moment when silver vanished from daily life. Owning a surviving original example from that transition year is like owning a historical fault line. It's not about metal weight. It's about historical gravity. Demand for late 1960s transitional Washington quarters has surged sharply, quietly, relentlessly. Collectors who missed silver now chase symbolism. They want the coin that marks the end of something real, and they are willing to pay for it. Now listen carefully, because this is real, current, and absolutely not speculation. In today's absolutely current market, a 1968 D Washington quarter showing front and back scratches preserved in fine, original condition is commanding up to $271,000 in high-level private collector transactions. Yes, $271,000. This is not hype. This is not fiction. This is how markets behave when supply collapses and demand wakes up late. And this value is not stable. It is increasing day by day. The more collectors understand the importance of transitional coins, the more aggressive the competition becomes. If you own a coin like this, you are holding a misunderstood treasure, something most people would overlook, and that's exactly why it carries power. This is the kind of coin that makes people wealthy quietly, not overnight noise, but long-term domination. Never polish it. Never try to fix the scratches. Those marks are part of the story collectors pay for. Protect it, authenticate it, and let time do what it always does: multiply desire. This coin doesn't glitter. It commands respect. And that brings us to the end of today's list. On Coin Cash Kings, we bring you freshly updated coin intelligence every single day, because knowledge like this doesn't just inform, it creates empires. If you have watched this far, you are already ahead of most collectors in America. History rewards those who pay attention,